coalition, the alumni part of the coalition, and he's going to speak. So I would like to introduce Dr. Ron Frazier. Let's not take it from him, Dr. Ron Frazier.
Thank you, Patrice. Let's really understand that this is an ideological battle to save the department. The department is under threat right now, and we have to make sure that when we see these threats, when we see people like Monteiro being pushed out, we have to make sure we keep the focus. Black Studies was founded in 1968, as Dr. Nathan Hare said, to make and help the university deal with racism, to teach people outside the university to deal with the racism inside, deal with what Kwame Ture coined institutional racism. I emailed Dr. Monteiro very directly, was very direct about everything going on after the YouTube video that he released, saying that it was out of Asante's hands, that basically Monteiro should not expect to be renewed because he has a year-to-year contract. And I basically asked Asante very directly, like, why? Why, even though you notice the community Asante, betraying the community, how could you sit back and not allow the renewing of Dr. Monteiro's contract? How could you, Dr. Asante, sit back and not allow the renewing of Dr. Ahmad's contract from right here? And I got a one-word reply from Asante. Guess what that one word was? Sorry. But I thought that was very interesting. So I didn't reply. I said, I think that'll be the last email I sent him. But I think that one-word reply really encapsulates the kind of leadership that he has exhibited so far. Unwilling to defend, unwilling to protect, unwilling to fight, to renew Dr. Asante, not Asante, to renew Monteiro and Ahmad's contract. Sorry was the one-word response I got from Asante when I asked him to explain his decision not to renew the contracts of Monteiro and Ahmad. But I think it describes his leadership of the same department that I graduated from in 2012 after graduating Yale College in 2001. Asante's leadership so far in really trying to protect Ahmad and Monteiro is sorry and pathetic, because by not working to renew the contracts, he is censoring the academic diversity of our department. Monteiro and Ahmad teach from communist and Islamic socialist perspectives. For over a decade, the department grew from this broad range of theoretical perspectives, and the department needs this kind of diversity to continue being relevant to the issues facing the surrounding community. However, in the past year, Asante has built a reputation as an ideologue who will reward students and faculty who will only help promote his own Afrocentricity theory. This denies the students within the department and the university the academic freedom that made the department so relevant to issues facing North Philly, incarceration. It's Dr. Monteiro's students that are now working to free Mumia. It's Dr. Monteiro's students that are leading an effort right now that have accomplished a great success in getting Mumia Abu Jamal off of death row. A lot of his training in the theoretical place that he comes from has let people know that the world does not have to remain sexist, racist, and misogynist. Dr. Monteiro was one who was a running mate with Angela Davis in 1972 in the Communist Party. How many faculty can claim that? We celebrate Angela Davis now, but when she was saying what she was saying, we were saying she's crazy for being a communist. Dr. Monteiro was her running mate, okay, in 1972. And now Asante wants to throw that under the bus, ignore it, and say that he shouldn't be upset that he's on a year-to-year contract. Total betrayal. Total betrayal. We need Dr. Monteiro. Sadly, Asante wants to, I just want to remember, and really, when I think about this situation, I think about what Huey Newton wrote. With all of Huey Newton's misogyny and his sexism and his problem, he wrote that cultural nationalists are concerned with returning to the old African culture, thereby regaining their identity and freedom. He calls cultural nationalism a reaction instead of responding to political oppression. The term that he used was pork chop nationalist, okay? So, I mean, I'm not gonna call a spade so directly, but I mean, we clearly see here who's the one that's totally ignoring and who's the one whose theory is not addressing the issues in our community, like mass incarceration, whose theories are not addressing the austerity, the closing of public schools. If you say LaPortia Massey, we have to all know who LaPortia Massey is. LaPortia Massey is a student in West Philly who was killed because she happened to have an asthma attack on the day that her school nurse was not there. Why was her school nurse not there? Because of austerity. What does Afrocentricity have to say about austerity? Nothing. What does Dr. Monteiro have to say about austerity? Everything. Dr. Monteiro is the one who's encouraging us to know about state power and how it's increasing, how they lock our black, brown, and children up, and he encourages us to do something about it, not just sit back and call things Afrocentric and get to say, I say it's Afrocentric, I say it's not. We got a major struggle here, folks. We got a major struggle here, and we can't let this go. Recently, there was, all right, I already said that. All right, last thing I want to say is, Monteiro and Ahmad are the strongest lifelines to the surrounding North Philly community. To see Asante regain the chairmanship due in part to Monteiro, and then to see Asante turn around and deny him and Ahmad to work next year is disappointing. I mean, it's sorry leadership. It's completely sorry leadership. The word that Asante gave me really describes him. Okay, that's the leadership, that describes the leadership. Last month, I don't know if you noticed this, I'm a playwright. And this other brother who's a Facebook friend of mine, Jeff Stetson, he wrote a play called The Meeting that was produced at Penn Charter. And The Meeting is a play, about a fictional meeting between Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. The money, I found out, for that play production is going to the Molefi Asante Institute. And I just thought that was absolutely disingenuous. Why is Asante getting money from a production when in his professional life he's breaking the lives of people who are the only ones that teach about Malcolm X and King, okay? And that doesn't make any sense. So we have to ask, what role does Monteiro play in the community? Fighting for Mumia, educating about Pan-Africa, educating about MOVE, Liberation School. And then we compare that to what Asante's doing in the community. What is he doing in the community that's comparable? So these are all reasons that we have to remind ourselves. LaPortia Massey, okay? We have to remind ourselves about Angela Davis, okay? We have to remind ourselves about The Meeting, taking money from an institute, his institute that's taking money while denying students the ability to learn about Malcolm and Martin from two people who knew them most closely, okay? And we have to keep this in mind. Finally, what I have to say is that I can only hope that Dr. Asante will see the error of not renewing the contracts of both Dr. Monteiro and Dr. Ahmad, and that he decides to renew their contracts for the sake of discipline and the sake of academic diversity in our department. I sent Dr. Asante an email in January when Temple announced that it was going to support or was going to not support the Academic Studies Association boycott against Israeli universities. And he sent me one quick email, said, oh yeah, we'll take care of it. But to date, the department has no comment on the boycott going on now. Read Ruhan Nagra's report about how Israel is preventing Palestinian universities from hosting professors. Temple apparently is giving that a green light, sadly. And with Asante's leadership of our department, they're also giving it a green light. We have to continue to demand. Please understand the power. The people of color under the neo-colonial oppression is waiting on us in America. We have so much power. That's how the Vietnam War ended, okay? We have to utilize it. We have to utilize the power we have here and educate folks, because that will begin to change. That will begin to, that's what Malcolm knew. Malcolm said, if only us here could unite with those people fighting for revolution in Africa, that's what would make the difference. And we gotta really utilize this power. So I wanna say, even though I expressed and I got my response, my one-word response from Asante saying sorry, it is up to all of us here at Temple, even though they greenlight Israeli colonization of Palestine, even though they greenlight the destruction of public schools here, which allowed LaPortia Massey to die. It is up to us to replace sorry leadership. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Frazier. I want to read a statement from Dr. Mark Lamont Hill, and I want to hurry up and read this before my phone dies. Dr. Hill states, I stand in complete and unequivocal solidarity with Dr. Anthony Monteiro. Based on all available evidence, Dr. Montero's de facto firing from Temple University is a gross injustice. A clear and unequivocal case of personal and political retribution by the Dean of the College of Liberal Arts. In its attempt to punish Dr. Monteiro, the university has caused great damage to its students, curriculum, community, and reputation. Ironically, Dr. Monteiro is being pushed out of the African American Studies Department for maligning the very principles upon which it was founded. Rigorous scholarship, community engagement, and principle activism. For decades, Dr. Monteiro has been a leading thinker and writer on a variety of subjects related to the condition of African people throughout the diaspora. His research and writing, in particular on the life and work of W.E.B. Du Bois, the father of the urban sociology and forefather of Black studies, has been among the most respected and cited in the entire department. Dr. Monteiro has also worked tirelessly to expand the influence of Temple University beyond the boundaries of the campus, from hosting conferences to leading teach-ins throughout the Philadelphia area. Dr. Monteiro has helped the university live up to it expressed, though rarely delivered. Promise of making Temple University relevant and valuable to its neighbors in North Philadelphia and around the city. Dr. Monteiro has also been a committed activist, from his support of wrongfully convicted journalist Mumia Abu-Jamal to his struggles to prevent the Temple University's shameful gentrification of North Philadelphia. Dr. Monteiro has been on the forefront lines of resistance for the city's most vulnerable and exploited people. While Dr. Monteiro's track record makes him a model activist, scholar, it also makes him susceptible to transparent and unprincipled attacks from multiple directions. Dr. Monteiro is being pushed out under the thinly veiled and cowardly guise of a contract non-renewal for having the courage and character to challenge the power and defend the powerless. But this isn't just about Dr. Monteiro. This is about an African American Studies department that openly admits, according to Dean Soufas, that it is moving away from the W.E.B. Du Bois studies. The fact that a department can abandon the study of the most significant intellectual of the century is a chilling testimony. I have to read that again. The fact that a department can abandon the study of the most significant intellectual of the century is a chilling testimony. Its lack of intellectual clarity, or the extent to which the department is willing to sacrifice both its students and its intellectual integrity as a ransom for political retribution against Dr. Monteiro. This is about an increasingly corporatized Temple University, animated by the principles of profit, making privatization and exploitation. Within this neoliberal universe, knowledge production becomes a commodity rather than an end itself. Faculty labor, including that of graduate students and adjuncts, is de-skilled, casualized, and rendered disposable. And the surrounding Black, brown, and poor communities are valued only to the extent that they enable economic opportunism. Through the land grabs, resource liquidation, and full-fledged gentrification. This is also about a group of university power brokers and their powerless henchmen. The underestimated our willingness and ability to resist. They believe we will be silent. They believe we will do nothing. Instead, we have organized. We have fought back. We have begun a principled and protracted struggle for Dr. Anthony Monteiro, but also for the education of our students, the dignity of our community, and the corrupted soul of the university. I stand next to Dr. Monteiro in full support, unconditionally, solidarity, and revolutionary love. Reinstate Anthony Monteiro. Dr. Mark Lamont Hill, written on April 15, 2014. I want to introduce one of the students from the Student Coalition, Felix. Yes, you. I see you hiding back there. He's coming up representing the Student Coalition. Before I introduce him, I just want to say that the students is just unstoppable. I mean, what they've been doing, that's right, give it up. Make some noise. Because they are young revolutionaries. And I'm not just saying that, they some young revolutionaries. And I want all of them. They're not going to all speak, but I want to call them all out. All y'all come up here. Because these are young revolutionaries in the making. Right here. Right here. They strong. They some strong, young brothers and sisters. Strong, on the front line. They on the front line. They're not standing in the back waiting to see what's going to happen. They on the front line, making it happen. That's what our young folks got to do. Because, I'm so proud of them. Like, I'm so proud of them. What they're doing, it's just beyond. You know, when I was that age, I don't even think I may have had that courage to stand on the front line of a movement. I kind of waited to see what the elders want to do, but they just went on. They just took the ball and kept going. And that's what we have to do. They're coming after our young people. If they're not conscious, and you're not going to get it in here. You're not going to get it in here. What's in here? They fearless. You're not going to learn that in the academy. You're not going to learn it in here. But they're doing it. And Felix is going to speak about what the Student Coalition has been doing.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And it really is, it's more than just the community and the student thing. It's so much more that we're trying to do, not just reinstating Monteiro, but trying to bring a closer relationship between the university and the community, because you can't just plop this university here and expect to keep everyone out when it was created for such bigger reason than that. What the Student Coalition have been doing is, we've been doing a lot of flyering and postering. Today we're actually planning on going into Sullivan Hall and to try to get another meeting with the provost, because no matter how many times we email him, no matter how many petitions we sign and bring to him, they refuse to come out and talk to us, to come out and address this issue that's affecting the entire university, the entire student body. And they just keep ducking us. No matter how many times we email, no matter how many channels we go through, the channels that they put into this university, the channels that are supposed to work for us to get a meeting with them, the rules they put for our students to be able to communicate, they're the ones that are breaking their own rules, not talking to us, because they know that we're standing on the moral and ethical high ground right now.
They're cowards.
Exactly, they are cowards for not trying to talk to us, for completely disregarding our process, our democracy. It's we did not vote to get rid of Anthony Monteiro. It was not a democratic decision by the student body, by the colleagues of Anthony Monteiro. It was a single person who decided to get rid of one of the most, if not the most, respectable FM professors, just scholars of present modern day society. And just to go over our heads to get rid of this admirable person is just, it's despicable. And just to see how much support he has, and to not grant us a meeting, just one meeting with the provost, with the dean, with the president, with anybody, just to listen to us, to listen to our concerns, absolutely just downright despicable, and they're just cowards. And I'm getting angry just talking about this right now. I really just, I need a minute. But this is not the only thing we tried to do. We also went to Anderson today to try to talk to another coward, Dean Teresa Soufas, because Anderson, she's a dirty person. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna curse out Dina. She really is, and it's just unbelievable how these people keep ducking us and not listening to our concerns. And exactly, we pay their paychecks. I'm sorry. I think somebody should take over. I'm just getting really upset talking about this. I'm so angry. Just give us one meeting. Just one meeting with the provost. We just want to talk to you. It's so unfair to just turn a blind eye, a deaf ear. They continue to just sit there in the comfortable offices while we're out here in the cold, fighting for what we believe in. And what are they doing in there? Just counting their money? Our money? The one we gave you? And you just duck us? You don't want to even talk to us? Just give us a single meeting? You got all these cops protecting you. What about protecting us? What about protecting the community? What are you doing in there, huh? Why don't you come out and talk to us? I need some protection right now. Mr. Officer, I need some protection from these scumbags right there and there. Can you please protect me? Can you protect me? They're stealing our money, and they're not even going to listen to us. Are you going to protect us? Or just going to stay there and just block the doorway so we can't come in and talk to them? $30,000 a year! $20,000 a year. You know how much debt I'm going to be in when I get out of school? You know how long? Oh my God. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what Temple's doing to us right now. Trying to get rid of great professors, just destroying the community, the College of Liberal Arts, just completely ignoring the student body, the community.
They should be paying me to go here.
They should be paying you to go here.
They're looking out.
Besides the point, education should be free. I'm just going to plug that in right there. It's totally possible, no matter what they're going to try to tell you. But all we want is for you to reinstate a professor, among other demands, like fighting Soufas. But just one meeting, please. I know you're listening to us. Just one meeting, just one promise. Just bring back this great professor who is so important to the community, to the cause, to the student body, who just provides so much for us, so much support, just cares so much about the students, so much about the community. We just want him back. And that's what the Student Coalition is about. Just bringing back great professor, making community and the university just bring us closer together. So, you know, it's all about the students. It's all about just the future, and we're the future. And we just want to make sure that we're being taught by the best, that our community relations are the best, and just that we go to the best university. And that's what we want out of Temple. We just want Temple to be the best university out there, and that's what we're fighting for. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Paul. I'm also a student of Dr. Montero's, and I just want to echo exactly what Felix said. I want to say that I'm very angry today. I'm very angry today because we were out there every day getting people to sign petitions. Firstly, because we believe that we were raised in a democracy where our voices matter, especially when we are vital to this institution being around. We are the reason this institution is here. Last week we were here on these same steps, and we handed to the hand of the deputy provost petitions, and we emailed him diplomatically asking for a meeting, and he has ducked and cowed. We have not seen him. We don't even know what he looks like, what the provost looks like. Maybe, I don't know. Check his Instagram. But today we were in Sullivan Hall because we decided there was no other way to get a meeting. We had to go to where the powers were. And that's where we were. And you should have seen the police presence. I thought that I had the right to free speech. We had the right to assembly. That's what we were taught. That I could go in somewhere and talk to the powers that be and let them know how we feel. But yeah, you're gonna come out here with all these police out here? Keep me out of my damn university? What, are we living in a fascist state? What is going on here? We have every right to meet with the provost, with the president. They are accountable to us. They are not accountable to cutting funding. They're not accountable to the board of trustees. They're accountable to us. 1,000 signatures for one professor. And you won't even give us a damn meeting? 1,000 students. You know how much fucking money that is? Where are you?
We want a meeting! We want a meeting!
We want the meeting.
We want a meeting! 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 We want a meeting!
This has gone on too long. Since January, we've been organizing and petitioning and asking for a case to be heard. And all they've done is obfuscate it. They tried to placate us in meetings, being completely disingenuous. We had a meeting with the Vice President of Community Affairs, and he told us that he was working for the community. A few weeks later, it comes out they're trying to get rid of Norris Homes and push the people out. What is the truth? This university is a lie. It's not here for us. That has to be changed. Our education has to matter more than just in the classroom. That's what Dr. Monteiro does. He makes us people. He makes us humane. He makes us care about other people. That's what makes you humane. When you stand up, when you're no longer complacent, when you can no longer turn a blind eye. That's who we are today. And that's because of Dr. Monteiro. At least I can say that personally in my life. He's changed the way I view the world. And to get rid of a professor like that is a disgrace. It's despicable. And Temple University should be ashamed of itself. And I know it's not, because Temple University has no morality. They showed that today. They showed that throughout this whole entire process. We counted on them to be moral, to be people who cared about what we thought. That's why we thought we could petition them. We thought we could talk to them because we thought they were moral people. They will listen to the demands of the people, but they are not. They are immoral, or worse, maybe even amoral. So this is the only way we're going to get what we need to get done. All power to the people. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm a Temple student. I'm a therapeutic major and I spent a lot of money here to go to Temple. I'm definitely a fellow activist within this community and I definitely believe in reinstating Dr. Monteiro in. Temple has, what we say, like colonized this community of North Philadelphia. It's like Temple's the only species here and we have to move all the people out. Let's go, no matter what color, no matter what income, what knowledge you have, you gotta go because you're not Division I quality. What is Division I quality if the person who we pay to work for us cannot stand here and come talk to us? That's not Division I quality. Isn't that what I'm paying for? I don't know, but anyway, thank you very much, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you all so much for coming out here. You know, we have a very strong movement because we mobilized here not just today, but last Wednesday, we had 100 people out here. And this week, we have 100 people out here, and we're going to continue to mobilize and continue to fight. So, you know, we saw an unprecedented mobilization of the Temple Police Department today. I mean, I haven't seen these many cops out at one time in a long time, right? And so we know that their job isn't to protect us. We know that their job is to make sure that Temple can be this purified, clean university where no community members, no working people can come on here and use and have access to the resources that belong to them because they made it, they built it. Working people from North Philadelphia all throughout this city created everything that we're standing on, and we're going to fight to liberate it for the people. And, you know, the cops are out here because they want to do, you know, this show of force. They want us to think that they're strong. But what all these cops really mean is that they're afraid of us. That